Well, one thing that's been pretty striking is the fact that the Open Medicine Foundation has been several years ahead of NIH. And they deserve a great deal of credit for all the effort that goes into this, and also the patients and caregivers and donors deserve a tremendous amount of credit for all the things that they have done, either in giving blood or giving funding. It's really made it a real big team effort. And I got to say, I was optimistic at the end of the last meeting we had, because it seems like we were going in the right direction. I still think that that's true. And when we looked at all these different pictures of the disease that different people are looking at, don't think that there's got to be one right and all the others are wrong. Good chance they're all right, and we just don't know how they fit together. So this whole thing is like putting together a massive jigsaw puzzle. And there's different people putting together different patterns, and they keep expanding it. And eventually, the pieces are all going to start fusing together. And we're not there yet. We don't know how they fit together. My suspicions are they all will fit together. And all of the components will be really important to understand. And that's why it's really important that we have different expertise and different viewpoints and different information being collected. The important thing is that people do good experiments. They challenge themselves. They make certain that things are correct, because that can derail the field. But I think that that's what I see happening is the right thing that's happening in this field. It's hard to understand what we're going to be doing like next year. I think this has been a successful thing to do, and so we're going to try to raise the money. Well, no, Linda is going to try to raise the money to have another meeting like this next year and a community symposium, because I think it's very worthwhile. I think it probably is time to thank people that have done such a great job. Good, okay, so there have been a lot of people that have made this possible. They certainly haven't been in the background because you keep seeing them running around. But first of all, I would like to I think I would like to start with Linda and thank her with the Open Medicine Foundation, because she started an awful lot of this. And pardon? Linda. Come on up here, Linda.
Thank you.
So, thank you very much. I remember, how many years ago was it?
You and I?
Yeah, the two of us sitting in our living room, 4 years ago, where you said, I know how to raise money, but I don't know, who to get to work on this. And I said, I know who to get to work on it, but I have no idea where the money's coming from. And then all of a sudden, it's obvious. We have to work together. And that was actually a wonderful moment, because it really set the direction of what we really have to do. Now, the other person I'd like to thank is, and you've seen quite a bit of her, boy, isn't she witty? Reka has an incredibly fast mind, so don't try to pull a fast one on her. She'll get you. So I would really like to thank Reka. Thank you very, very much. This is your wonderful job. Wonderful job. Now, there's another person that you haven't seen that much of because she is in the background doing an unbelievable number of things. And one of the problems that we've had in the last several months is the fact that we've lost our financial person, and so somebody has to take up the slack. So it's largely been Katrina. And then we've lost our communications director of Reka, and who has to take up the slack? Katrina. And I get, I don't know what it is, 65,000 emails every day. Who has to look at them? Katrina. And those are just her part-time job. And then she has to run the lab and take care of all the students and all the other scientists and get what they need. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she was back in the office because there's something urgent that she had to take care of. But so she's made it, she's done a lot with this, all the peripheral kinds of things, and she's helped out doing an awful lot of stuff, especially with the emailings that have to get done and so forth. Because one of the problems with working with geeks, they don't read email. They don't answer the phone, and they don't read regular mail. So it's hard to get a hold of them. And just to invite them to the meeting is a major undertaking. And so we've had to figure out strategies to do that by knowing who the speaker's significant other is, and then find a friend of that significant other, right? And then find the someone that we can communicate with that person, and that's how we get a hold of most of the people.
She's also a scientist.
Yes. So that took a great deal of skill. Now, on top of all that, she's also a scientist. And so she comes to our scientific meetings, she totally understands what we're doing. But she has a great spirit of just wanting to help. What needs to get done, I'll do it. She's been, I think, the best person I've ever had working for me because she understands what needs to get done and she does it. And it's just been wonderful having her. So I really want to thank Katrina. You haven't probably even seen her because she's always been in the back out there. So Katrina, thank you very, very much. Wonderful. You're just wonderful.
It's a pleasure working with you.
Now the other problem is, how do we put on a meeting like this? If it were up to me, it would be an absolute disaster. Because I would forget all sorts of things. Like, we have the meeting and then someone says, well, where's the food? And I say, oh, food? We have to have food? And so it's really good that I didn't try to organize this. Because I'm a nerd, and so it would be just the science. And so fortunately we have Ashley Haugen, and she really did all of the, all the organization. Katrina helped her in lots of the logistics with the lab, but she took care of all of the 3-day scientific meeting, single-handedly at the meeting, organizing everything, organizing all of this, where are we going to do it. She actually had to deal with Stanford, for gosh sakes, trying to get this done, which is not an easy task because there's so much, who's in charge, right? You can hardly figure that out. So anyway, I really want to thank Ashley. It made this really possible. And what I've noticed about her in organizing what I got her to do this is that she got married a couple of years ago, and she organized her own wedding. Not a single flaw. Not a single one. Everything, well, except for the drunk, right? But it wasn't your responsibility. You had no responsibility for that. Yeah, it was the GJ for the, anyway. impressed me that this is not obviously can't be inherited, right? Oh yeah, there's another person, isn't there? And it's probably dominant. So I just really want to appreciate the fact that all this incredible organization has been done, and it really helps to, if things don't go wrong and the projector actually works and things like that. Anyway, she's done a fantastic job, and I really want to thank her for this. So thank you, Ashley. And she loves sunflowers. Thank you. So I want to also acknowledge Janet, who does an awful lot of stuff with the patients, and she came up here earlier to do stuff, and she works a lot of time helping out with the patients, and it is in her skill set. She's a clinical psychologist, and she has a PhD in psychology. So when you talk to her, she's probably diagnosing you.
So I think that we're not the only ones who deserve thanks. I think the main people that deserve thanks right here are you, Ron, and Janet, for making all of this possible and for your tireless dedication to this community and this disease. So thank you both very much. Come on up here. Thank you. Oh, that was loud.
We're all gonna get better.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that's it, isn't it? What did I forget?
That's it. I'll take care of it. So I want to close by thanking all of you for making this possible, for making this a truly special event. We really appreciate your engagement, your enthusiasm. It's such a unique community, and we're lucky to be researchers getting to research with such a great group of patients, caregivers, physicians, and supporters. So thank you all, and I think that's a wrap. We have a reception outside for those of you here. For those of you at home, I hope you'll toast us from your homes. But please join us outside and enjoy yourselves. Thank you all so much.